Right.
Sure.
Uh, can I start?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So greetings everyone. Firstly, I would like to just say that all the other teams are doing incredibly good. So congratulations, and hope you can kind of go forward with it. So today we like Chirag, Swastik, and Pankaj. We are here, the students of the CellStrat SmartKids AI and Python learning, to present you all with an something new concept. Something which kind of gets a real world application of the Python language that we are seeing. And in this presentation, we would all our team would definitely want you to ask questions and kind of interact with us if possible. If you don't understand, because it can get fairly complicating at some bits. So here it goes. So, firstly, what we aim to do was to create something which is known as Save in Shock. As you can see here, that we have the logo here of our entire project, and here is the main. So, I would just like to ask everyone, what do you mean by saving? Just anyone, if sir, even you can answer.
So, say, what do we mean by saving, folks? Anybody?
Anyone, just a basic thing of saving. What is saving?
Saving is like protecting something or something.
Okay, that's one. Yeah, please continue. Sorry.
Yeah, I like financial savings, right? Saving money on buying
Exactly.
products, right?
Exactly. So for me as a student right now, I definitely tend to look at things in a more economical way, because I am not earning and I'm kind of spending my father's hard-earned money. So I prefer to kind of look at things in the best possible prices and just explore more. So that is the whole purpose of our idea. What we mean by saving shock is to actually choose our products in a very wise manner. And why we have included shock here, because what we do is actually we are going to places, we're looking for products. So Shark is like a parser. It's like a tool for us to kind of go and search for products. That is the whole purpose of naming our project Save in Shark. So moving forward, one thing that I would just like to tell anyone, we all technology has kind of changed the way we think and the way we do all our work. Elon Musk always says that technology is the closest thing to magic that we have seen in our time and that we will see in the coming years. We know that technology is the future and the future is the technology, and it's up to us on how to use it, whether you want to use it to create something which is out of this world, which is something which creates an expression of magic, imagination, activity, uniqueness, or we can just use it for some basic stuff. So us as a team, we aim to create something which is using our creativity plus our Python skills and our coding skills, which we learned from the CellStrat teachers, on how to implement these and create something very interesting. For this, we use two libraries called Beautiful Soup and Requests. So, firstly, I'll talk about the request library in a very basic statement. And here I would like to use an example. So, for example, I am sitting here, and with me, I have Vivek sir with me sitting. I ask, my eventual aim is to write something, and I don't have a pen or a pencil. So what I do, I ask sir, can you please give me a pen? Right. I ask basically. That's what I make a request. Right. That is the first step of any action that you do when you don't have something. That is what the requests library is all about. I am here sitting on my laptop, on my computer, and my application is kind of making a request to a website that it wants access to, right? Because my eventual aim is to search for products. So that's why what I do is I kind of put a request using the request library. It sends a request, like I send a request to sir to please give me a pen. It's same in the same way it sends a request to sir to kind of give me a pen. That's the whole purpose of the request library. And what it does request, it requests for the HTML of the page, or the basic source code, what we know as the source code of a page where a web page is written. That is the whole purpose of the request library, to just make a request to the website that we kind of want the information for. And what it does is it creates a response object, which is nothing but like the same thing for a request. We won't get into many major details, but that is the whole purpose of the request library, to make a small request to the web page that we want the content for. And the main methods that we use is the dot get, which is like the command. Like I say please sir, it's saying dot get. That's the same thing. Moving on to our second action. Okay, so now I've asked for the pen from Vivek sir. Sir, has, now what I do, sir has given me the pen, right? So this communication has been done. I said, please give me the pen. He has given me the pen. Now what was my eventual aim? My eventual aim was to write, right? So that's when the beautiful soup library comes into action. That is what it will do. Now when I have the whole bunch of content, I can't be looking for each and every line of code to extract what I want. Beautiful soup library does that task very easy for me. So basically it is a kind of parser which kind of goes through each and every line of the HTML of the web page and gives us the necessary required content that we require for our basically eventual aim. Now, I have written here that there are mainly two ways to extract data from a website. One is to use the API of a website, and the other is to actually access the HTML of the web page and extract useful information from it. This technique is actually called web scraping, web harvesting, web data extraction. When I'm talking about the first statement using the API of a website, API is nothing but the application programming interface in basic layman terms, because I want to make it as simplistic as possible. It's just a tool which allows different programs to interact with each other and have a more secure content transfer. For example, if there is one program here and one program here, and if this program wants to interact with this program to extract some data, it will use an API, which is less like a tool which will go from here to here, get the data, go back to here. That is the basic purpose of API, and many users and many programs currently use it. Amazon has its own API, as you know that the whole SellStrat hub that we see is based on Amazon Web Services. It has its own API, right? And many of you obviously have a very good understanding of it, even better than me. But what we as students focused on was to actually go for the second method, because using the API of a website is a very complicated and includes a lot of legalities. That's why we have kind of focused on the second method, which is actually to access the HTML of the web page. We all know what HTML is. It is used to write the web page. Very simple language. Even the most complex pages like the Amazon is built on HTML. So we can actually get the entire information which we can see on the screen using just the HTML of that web page. And now I'd like to give the control to Swastik.
Hello, I'm Swastik, and this is what we focused on. Here is a screenshot of Amazon. On the right side, we have opened a panel that allows us to see the code written to make the web page. This is where we made our code extract details of this web page. Here in the tag ID price block RPrice, the cost of the item is stored. Here we extract the cost and display it in our code. Now, as you can see, the price of the phone is 64,999 and is stored in ID price block RPrice. This was also how we got the reviews for our in our output,
Right.
and this is what web scraping is called. And
Yeah.
now on to Pankaj.
Yeah, before Pankaj, just a minute. So we can clearly see that, as students, we want to make things as simplistic as possible. So even the most complicated things that we see on a user interface like Amazon or maybe Flipkart or any other website, such a complex website, and see that we have all this written inside the basic HTML code. So if we kind of just get into the details, we can actually see that it's not that complicated, and that is what we as a group focused on. Over to Pankaj.
Hello everyone, I'm Pankaj. So the first step in this code is like to get the URLs and like connect them like to the web scraping. So as Chirag said, request is to like anything, like you want to get anything, request will do it. And Beautiful Soup is just going to connect it and it's going to like extract everything. So we created two variables, actually four. I'll talk about the first two. So we created page one and page two. So page one and page two, they use a request function and they get the URL from each web page. We actually conduct like a Google search in our code. So the user automatically gets the URLs, and this request function is just going to connect the URL. And now we created two more variables called soup1 and soup2. So now we use the Beautiful Soup function to actually extract all the content from each page. So beautiful soup one, a soup one is gonna get content from page one, and beautiful soup two will get content from page two. Okay, so and we use like the LXML as like a parser, just to like compile the data.
Right.
So moving on.
Yeah. Before moving on, just to give a more simplistic example, we have a page in which I have like a paragraph full of information, right? And I ask you to kind of take a pen and mark only a few words starting from the letter R. So what you'll do, you kind of go through every line of the paragraph and kind of mark the words starting with R, right? That is, so basically what you're doing is you're just making a parser, a tool that you're kind of going through each and every line. You have a question? I can't see because I'm presenting. So, does anyone have a question right now?
I guess go ahead. It's all right.
I think it was a
Okay.
mistake.
Right. Okay. So basically, what I'm doing is I'm actually going through each and every line and kind of using that. The LXML, which Pankaj just mentioned, is the same thing. It's a parser which kind of goes through each and every HTML line and gives us that information that we asked, demanded. So in simplistic terms, that is the basic meaning. Moving on, Pankaj, over to you.
So okay, so slide 10. I will talk like why exactly like we chose this project. So as Chirag said, technology is our future, and future is technology, and it constantly grows. So it's like we always get curious about it, about the devices and the electronics around us. So we wanted to do something related to electronics, as we all like them. So um, we browse various products, various electronics through various websites to see which one is better. And it oftentimes we spend a lot of time deciding what's our best choice to buy, which laptop, which phone. So I personally, when I was searching for a laptop, I had to scroll through. I had to like search a lot of websites. But even though both the laptops have the same specs, what really makes a difference is like what the user thinks. So I need to find like a good place to get the ratings in the reviews. So like that's why this project comes, Shaving Shark. It's just gonna like find the better deal and get all the reviews, ratings, and everything from Amazon, and it's gonna put it on the same page. So it's gonna be easier for us to decide. So next code. So in this one, this is like the second step in our code. After we connect the URL, our first step is to get the title of each product. So now we create a function called get names, and here we create two variables. As I said before, soup1 access the content from the first page, and soup2 gets the content from the second page. Now we create variables called title1 and title2, and use the soup command, soup1 dot find, and to get the exact information or like the title we want. So here we use the ID. So when Swastik was showing like to actually classify each page, okay, just a minute.
Yeah.
So as you guys can see, every line has like an ID or a class. This is what like I mean shows like the information, like it's like as Chirag said with the R's. This is how like the beautiful soup command can detect what it's scraping exactly. So with the product title ID, we get the title and we extract it. Now we use the get text to like get the text that we only want, like nothing excess, and then we use the strip command to get format them in like two separate lines. As always, we use the return command and get just print out the titles. And moving on to Swastik.
I'll take over.
Actually, Chirag.
Yeah. So same as Pankaj mentioned, next step would be to kind of extract the prices, right? So in this, it was a bit fairly complicated process because from experience, I'm telling that Amazon does not store its prices inside the same tag. As I mentioned, ID is a tag. So in Amazon, there are mainly two tags. One is called the price block underscore R price, and one is called the price block underscore deal price. So when Amazon has deals and all, it uses this tag, and when there are no deals, it uses this tag. So for us to kind of know, because we don't know, right, what the user will kind of ask, like what the user will, what product the user will demand for, and will it be on deal, will it not be on deal. So that's why what we required to do was to kind of create something which is feasible for both, and that is why we use the if else statements. So on line number here we see that if price block underscore, so if we see that soup1 dot find id price block underscore r price, if the id is r price, it will kind of find it and give it to price one. If it won't, if it won't, then it will search for deal price, right? And this is basically the simplest thing. I won't get into the major parts of the code because it gets very basic and kind of like boring. So there were challenges at every step, but what was required was to kind of just delve deeper into the situation and get a very simple solution to it, because the more complicated things we go towards, the more complicated and the more complex our code gets. That was the whole point of it. Yeah, I'm giving the stage to Swastik now.
Yeah, so one of the more important things in comparing two products is knowing what others thought of the product we are going to buy. So we also, with this code, were able to extract ratings and stars given to the product by other users. Um, and in the end, we just returned it again so that it can be showed in the output of our code.
So I'll take over now. So again, like one more function after ratings, like the other most important thing, as I mentioned, is like the actual user reviews. We want to know what people think of the product, so you can make a better choice. So again, like the formatting is kind of similar for all of them. We have two variables. We use the soup1 and soup2 commands and attach them to like a tag to classify the HTML line. So review one and review two are the two variables we created, and we use like the soup1 and soup2 commands. Here, instead of just find, we use like the find all. It's like a little more efficient. It takes like it does like more. It goes through more. So instead of just find will only take the first one. Find all will go through more, and it will give us more. I would say like more data and more information. And again, so here like we saw IDs were used to classify, but now like for some of them IDs won't be there. It's like for I would say like IDs in class or just ID would be like there for some of the lines. Here it was only class, so we used the class, and everything in this quotations is just going to show um, is the class, and it's just gonna like classify the review part, and it's just so that the beautiful soup command is gonna extract it. So
Yeah.
moving on.
So that kind of so we are kind of up with the presentation. Now we'll just hop onto the code and give you a very brief demo of what we actually are doing. So I'll just run the code once and give you a basic idea before I explain the code in a very basic way. So I have a few products here. Just for the sake of time, I've already kind of saved the products. I'll just run the code again. For example, I am a user and I want to search for like an iPhone 12 Pro Max. One phone is this. And the other product that I want is maybe like a Samsung phone, which is Samsung Galaxy A22. So when I just press enter, it'll give me two links or for the two Amazon products, link for product one and link for product two. Now if I'm very searching for in detailed stuff, I want the specifications, I want everything, I'll just click on the two links simultaneously and I can open the websites instead of actually going to Google, writing everything, open the links, maybe some just saving a few seconds of my life. That's what the aim is. And if I am very lazy, which I am, I'll just click on Y, and if I want to just compare the basic stuff like reviews, ratings, prices and names and all, that's why I'll just press a Y, and here you'll see the real thing happening. So yeah, in front of your eyes, you can actually see a very concise comparison of the two. The product one, Amazon, like which is the Apple iPhone 12 Pro Max, specific blue color, and the product two, which is the Samsung Galaxy A22 black color, 6 GB RAM, 128 GB storage, and everything. And we can see that the price one is 1,18,900, and the A22 is 18,499. Here we can see the ratings are also given, like 4.6 out of 5 for the Apple product and 3.9 out of 5 for the Samsung product. And if I'm very lazy, I have literally all the reviews, the topmost reviews for the two products in front of my eyes without even going to the website and kind of scrolling. So we can see that an iPhone is written is overpriced, or it's visit a store you may get it cheaper. So it just gives me like a very concise way of comparison without kind of going through the websites and kind of scrolling through a lot of information. Now, Pankaj,
Yeah, I mean, we could also not only phones, we could test laptops, AirPods, everything. So we'll test laptops for now. So you could try like HP Spectre X360 and
we
Lenovo
can
Yoga 99.
we can try different products, but for the sake of time, we're just kind of putting these products.
So
I'm
now
just
again we run this. We get like once we run it, we get like an option to like if you want to run it again. So that's what we did now.
Yeah,
And
we had
we
to.
press Y. So here is a review for both of them. Like I mean comparison. So
Yeah,
again, we got the prices, the rating, and we got like the topmost reviews.
right. So that is the
So
whole purpose of it. We can also do it for AirPods, and we can actually,
tablets.
yeah, tablets. So I'll just give you another demo, the last demo of our running code. So it's just say that you want to compare more products. I'll just do a Y, enter product name, which is the iPad Pro M1 chip, and the second would be like the Samsung Galaxy Tab S6. If I would just press enter again, it'll give me two links for the two products. If I'm very much into kind of searching for everything, I'll just click on the links and go to the Amazon webpage. If I'm lazy, which I am, I'll just click a Y and make my comparison immediately. So that is the whole concept. And now if I don't want to go, I'll just say no and I'll say thank you, have a nice day. With that, we come to the end of the demonstration part. For a very basic thing explanation of the code, I won't go through every line because it's very boring. So as we can see in line 4, 5, and 6, I've put everything inside a while loop. Why I've done that? Because I want the loop to be running infinitely unless and until I don't want to kind of go search further. So you all saw a line which was coming, thank you for running and have a nice day. When I said no, it kind of broke through the loop and came outside. That was the whole point of putting everything inside a while loop. To lines 10 to 29, it's basically just comparing and getting the URLs which we were seeing on the screen, like URL1 and URL2. Because we type in the products, it kind of does a Google search, which we kind of have here from the Google search library. So it's actually like automating every process that we manually do on Google, right? Even that much automation is possible in today's world. So when we move further, we have already explained lines 36 to 39. Pankaj has already explained where we are just creating the objects and getting
Yeah.
responses. The functions,
Now these are just like
yeah,
the functions.
which you have already again
So first
explained.
function is names.
Yeah, which I think Pankaj you have already explained those, right? So
Mm-hmm.
we won't again explain them. So these are the get names function, compare prices, which I've already explained, get stars, which Swastik has already explained, reviews and all. Here we're just kind of the functions, the things that we're returning, we're just extracting here through these variables because there are two. And from two lines 92 to kind of 105, 92 to 105, we're just checking for any errors that we might have obtained. For example, in some products, the prices are not available, the products are unavailable. Many times you see that the products are unavailable, right? So that is the whole point of these lines, to kind of just know whether the products are available and if there is any error or not. And through lines 107 to 10114, it's just basically the end of the loop. So as I mentioned before, if I so there's an input, do you want to compare more products? If I want to, I just say Y, continue basically means that it go to the top of the loop again. So it'll again start running the code from the top. And if I say no, it'll just say kind of have a nice day and break. Break essentially means that it'll run out of the code and the whole website will kind of close as we do the close icon. And if you put any other thing, you'll just say wrong output and run the code again. So with that, we come to the end of our presentation, and we hope that in the future we are able to build it more to a level that it's more efficient and even deploy it to some of the kind of most essential web pages and even in the CellStrat hub. So yeah, thank you so much. And if you have any
Thank you so
questions,
much.
and if you have any questions, you please ask us. So we'll be happy to answer.